Welcome back, everybody.
Get lost. Bunch of creeps. Leave me alone.
You know, Mrs. Hertz, you need to stop yelling at our audience.
Have you heard the latest?
Welcome back, everybody,
I
to
love
part
gossip.
6 of the
Tell
Code
all.
Lyoko
It's not really
Quest for
gossip.
Infinity PlayStation 2 Let's Play.
About the meals at the snack bar.
And
Do you remember Pep?
there's a surprisingly
Moses
high
Bags?
number of
Yeah,
new
he's
interesting
following her around
things that are going on
everywhere,
around
even in the
Caddick
kitchen.
right now.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
according to a
that's
source,
it's always
he
nice to
prefers
have something
remain
like that.
anonymous. Seems like Pep
Anyway,
relieved himself
this
in the
mission is
tomato
kind of
sauce last
long
week.
and is our
The
first
week we had
mission
leftover
using
spaghetti bolognese?
somewhat more limited
Strange
resources.
coincidence,
We won't have
don't you
access to all the
think?
characters for all the sections.
There you are, Mr. De La Robia, Mr. Stern.
And
I was looking for you. You see,
yeah.
when I was walking past your room yesterday,
that's going to make things
I
a
heard
little bit
strange
harder
noise,
this
like
time around, but
scratching on the door.
not really
You're not
hard
trying
enough to be
hide
that big of a
anything
deal.
from me, I hope.
But hey, you'll actually get to see
course
me
not.
use Aelita for the
You
first
must have
time
been
in these
Moostic.
videos,
Moostic?
so
A pet?
I hope that's enjoyable.
Let me remind you that animals are forbidden in the rooms.
Yes, I know, but this is different. It's a wounded bird
Yes,
that turned up on our windowsill.
Wounded
We let him
bird
rest in the room until he
scratches
got
the
his strength
door.
back,
Yeah,
and he
that's...
left this morning.
I'm sorry, doesn't a
Moostic the,
pecking sound a
sparrow.
little different
Okay,
from
I'll let it
scratching
go.
sound? Well,
This
whatever,
time.
Mr. Delmus is an idiot who spends most of his time playing Flash games anyway. Oh, and yes, this is the first time that we actually have a XANA attack. These are situations as soon as you go to the factory, it starts a little cutscene like that, and then you get the little dialogue here. I think there's about 3 of these in the entire game,
It's Jeremy. Meet
and
at the factory. We have a problem.
when I was playing through the first time, they actually did add some kind of a sense of
Xana has
urgency,
activated
but
the tower.
it really
Looks
doesn't
like that's
stick
affecting the
after the
animals.
first time
That
through.
explains why Kiwi bit me this morning. He's never done that before.
It's,
I'm sure that's why.
didn't
Tower
Xana do
is
that
in a
already?
new replica. Let's
Like,
go.
didn't he actually do that in the first
Yeah.
season or the
I
second
improved the
season?
super scan. Now we can pick up what's going
I don't
on
remember
on
all the
other side
attacks
of
since
the
there's
digital
about one
sea.
an episode
Okay,
anymore.
Let's go. We need to put this tower
Well, not
out of
exactly
commission
one an
right now.
episode, but you know what I'm talking
No.
about.
What's wrong, Jeremy? There
Anyway.
are monsters attacking the desert. I'd really like
Oh,
to know why they're
well,
attacking that tower.
That's
I
problematic.
should've guessed. They're trying to get the data. Is Xana trying to rebuild
Wait,
the
why would he
replica
need
that
to
he
get the
lost?
data to
Must
rebuild the
be.
replica?
What do we
Wouldn't
do?
he have
We split up.
had the
No time
data
to lose.
already?
Right. That's
Like,
the best
couldn't he
option.
store that
Odd,
on
Yumi, you
some
go to
kind of
Lyoko
central
and
hard
defend the
drive
desert
system,
tower.
or...
Ulrich and
Well,
Aelita
whatever.
disable
More
the tower on
importantly,
the new
we have
replica.
Ulrich and
Come
Aelita
on.
heading to
I'll
the
launch the
replica,
virtualization program.
and we have Odd and Yumi
Hurry
heading
up!
to the desert
The
sector.
tower is under siege
Remember
by
this
Xana's
from part
monsters.
3, I
Get rid of
believe?
them before they recover
Yeah,
the
this little
data.
section here,
We're off.
you might remember I took a wrong turn the last time. Well, guess where we have to go this time? Yeah, that wrong turn now leads to a wall that you can climb up. So, yeah, this first part you've seen before, and yes, I'll be using Odd for this whole thing. He does the job very well, so not much of a reason to use anyone else right now. I do use all 4 characters through the course of the game, and not just because the game makes you, but because in different situations they are better. Here I kind of fail at climbing up the wall a bit. And then this part here I almost fail, but it does have the ability to kind of grip the wall if you happen to fail right at the top. There's actually a pretty good ambush right there. Could have done a lot more damage, but whatever. Gee, I wonder if there's any enemies right here. Oh yeah, of course. Also, you get to see you see those darker colored hornets in the sides? They have the ability to leave the green pools on the ground, the puddles of poison. Those can get kind of annoying in certain places, but they're not going to be a major problem. Here I just hold down the guard button, and at the end I start tapping it to try and reflect shots, but the enemies are kinda not very good at actually hitting you. They shoot where you are instead of where you are going to be. And that sudden cut was because I failed miserably the first time I tried to do this section here. So, yeah, you gotta run all the way around here. I'm blowing up rocks just because they're in the way, and because I can. So, we get all the way around to here, and fight a Mega Tank. And stupid kamikazes. Yeah, those are the kamikaze hornets, and they're a lot worse later. But you see there, you can dodge away from them the exact second they're about to explode, and they'll just explode harmlessly near you. Now I could run all the way back around, but that's a waste of time. So, we'll just use the teleporter. Then use the other teleporter. And shoot there. And then make the drop off of there instead of the leap that I attempted in the failed video. But yeah, I run through here. I never pay any attention to those data leaks or whatever they are, because they're really not a threat, ever. Aw, the bridge is out.
Oops.
Huh. Well, it's nice to see that XANA has a sense of humor about all this. Yumi's trying to sound sullen and morose, but it just doesn't seem to come across as well in the English here. Oh well. Yeah. So basically the goal here is to go through a set of enemies and just kill everything, as expected. Over to the right there is some goodie that you need Ulric's final ability to actually unlock, so we're not going to be worrying about that at all based on the current recorded data, but I might decide to go back at some point in the future and record the extra goodies, but I'd really rather not. I've played through this game so much, I just kind of want to let it rest after I'm done with this. But yeah, you see those green pools on the ground that those hornets can leave. Now the regular ones can do that too, but it's very rare. Similar to how the regular blocks can fire the rings and the ice beams and the lasers, but they usually stick to one or another type of attack. Those floating red XANA symbols there, the little semi-transparent ones, basically mean that enemies will keep spawning from those points, and it's two types of enemies because there's two XANA symbols, until you've either killed a certain amount of them or a timer's run out. Usually it's a timer, but there are a few situations where one of those symbols will pop up, and the game tells you not to fight the enemies that are being respawned by the symbol, but to fight the other enemy that's in the area. It's, I think, only two types of enemies in those situations. But for now, it's just, kill things and... Oh, he just walks away.
Hey, what's up? Don't you want to play with Uncle Odd?
Nah.
Won't fight. Not as weird as all that.
I think they're a little busy distracting you.
XANA has divided the group so that we're more vulnerable.
I smell a
Aelita
trap.
and Ulric, did you catch that?
Yeah, you probably should have figured that out a little faster.
Ready for action. Here comes the welcome party. Release.
Oh well. So here we go. Ulric
out.
flying through the
XANA has set a trap.
canyon.
Odd and Yumi can't join
We get to
you.
see one new
You
type of
will
enemy
have
this
to
time,
handle it yourself.
but not for a little while. First part here is just shooting these guys, which take 3 hits apiece to kill, so they're really annoying. In fact, it takes me 2 passes to kill these guys, and it's kind of sad. But I had default number of lock-ons, so it happens. In this one, I get the timing just right to nail them all in one shot, so... Trying to figure that out is the real challenge of those guys, to try and get them all in one hit. Or one chain of attacks. I get both lock-on boosts right there, which means it's probably going to be a pretty short stage. And it is. But here they just send a swarm of those things after you. The standard... I don't know exactly what they're called right off the top of my head. But yeah, the weird fish eel thing. Yeah, the eels, I guess. Now I get the little lucky shot there on the last one right before he leaves the screen. And then here I kind of fail a little bit, and yet I still dodge that one. And I'm kind of surprised, because I don't think I've ever actually dodged one of those before or since. Because they track pretty well. La da da da. Hurry up. Okay. And now this last part, where we get to see our new enemy for the stage. The shark that just swims right at you. It's not the only kind of shark in the game either. There's another one that's body is covered in XANA symbols. And that one you'll see at the end of the game, because it's a real chore to fight that one.
There, your priority will be to find the tower that XANA has activated.
Roger.
Nah, I was gonna go for a hike. instead of just, you know, actually completing the mission.
Recovery.
I mean, we can rewind time, right? Wait a minute, why did she pick up 2 nav skids there?
Don't waste time.
God bless
You have
stock
to disable
animation.
the tower.
You can count on us.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
And another sudden cut from a failure. And the video I'm watching while I'm doing the commentary is now glitching out, but I can still basically see what's going on. So here's Aelita. Her attack is a charge shot. And as you can imagine in an action-y platformer game, that is of limited value. It takes me a little while to kill the enemies in this stage because I'm using her, but at the same time it would take me a little while to use Alric too because Alric has to get in close. But here you're seeing me fight the beam creepers once again. And the trick here with Aelita's ability is that when you jump with her and you let go of the button, when you land, you'll fire the shot. So you can hold down the button and jump over the enemy attack and then let go of the button while you're in the air. She'll fire the shot and you'll be able to move again almost instantly. Because you see she stops for a quarter of a second when she's firing, which does become a problem in theory. And then over there is a little goodie card thing that you need Yumi's balancing ability to get to, which I don't have yet. And I don't have Yumi yet, so obviously I don't have Yumi in this stage yet, so obviously I can't get there. So let's ride the platform after picking up the upgrade, checkpoint, and then kill some more enemies. I don't think we've fought tarantulas yet, actually. And here I basically kill them by just reflecting shots, because that kills them the fastest of anything in the game. Is just hit them with 2 of their own shots. And that works on the ones you'll see later that have barriers. Those are fun. And by fun, I mean I get really impatient waiting for them to fire at me so that I can knock the shots back at them. That seems to imply infinitely respawning enemies, but I don't see any there. I think it's supposed to be kamikazes, but I'm not sure. Because obviously nothing spawned when I went through there this time.
Aelita.
New power
Data pack.
for
I can
Aelita.
reprogram your petrification powers.
Cool. I can freeze my enemies.
Wait a minute. When could she freeze her enemies?
Aelita.
I remember
try
her
to
putting,
freeze one of
like,
these
a
monsters.
ice
Then you can climb over
tomb
it
type
to get
thing
to the
around an
higher
enemy,
level.
but it could still move
Okay.
inside because it was just like a bubble or a cave. You know what? I'm not going to question it. It's a useful ability. Less useful in combat, but it's vitally important for platforming. So I make kind of an error here by not going after the kamikazes first. Whenever you have a situation where you got multiple enemies spawning and kamikazes are spawning, you should focus on those 100% of the time first. And by the way, that blue aura around the creeper means that I could freeze it if I wanted to. But I choose not to because it's kind of a waste of time. Anyway, and then I also do a lot of jumping around, and you'll see here occasionally I jump on top of a creeper. Well, you're seeing me bounce back and forth across that one, and then stand on it for a second. I like that. But basically, the fun part is you get to jump on top of it, and it counts as landing on the ground when you actually
Aelita,
let go of the
it's your
button to
turn.
fire your shot. So basically, it's almost like I just jumped on it and then punched it with the freaking energy ball. Which, I don't remember her doing it all in the show, but that would have been awesome. Girl power. Anyway, we're coming to the end here, because we've just deactivated the tower, so we'll be doing our return trip soon. So, I want to thank you all for watching. It still confuses me a little bit that Code Lyoko works in the replicas, but since they're exact copies, yeah, I'm getting off topic. And the topic is that the video is about over. So I wanted to thank you all for watching, and I will see you again next time.
I'll
Or
start a return to the past.
talk to you again next time, and you'll see
Return to the
video.
past.
Never mind. Talk later.